Unlocking the secrets of wealth isn't about tireless striving. It's about a fundamental shift in perspective. Most people remain stuck in a cycle of scarcity because they're fixated on their fears, not their desires. They're trapped in a self-imposed mental movie, replaying negative narratives until they become unshakable truths, without even realizing it. They believe they're thinking rationally, but they're actually running on autopilot, sabotaging their financial, emotional, and spiritual well-being. It's like trying to renovate a crumbling building by just painting the walls. You're ignoring the damaged foundation. Your self-image, the picture you hold of yourself deep down, is the blueprint for your life. Want to rewrite your reality? Start by examining that internal image. Do you see yourself as someone who triumphs, someone who attracts opportunities, or someone perpetually chasing a success that remains just out of reach? My own breakthrough came when I realized I'd been operating under a false narrative, a limiting belief system imposed by external forces. I believed the realistic limitations that were thrown my way until I discovered the power of self-image. It wasn't just about visualization, it was about consciously deciding, embracing, and living as if my desired reality was already a fact. Are you doing that, or are you still waiting for external validation to believe in yourself? Successful people aren't magical. They've simply mastered the art of self-belief. They've rewritten their internal script. They see themselves achieving success, and their actions follow suit. When I finally committed to changing my self-image, I detailed it meticulously. The clothes I would wear, the way I'd walk, I even mimicked the confident stride of a man in my neighborhood. I became that image. The biggest mistake most people make is trying to achieve new things with an old self-image. They work harder, study more, yet remain internally limited and insecure. They'll self-sabotage, miss opportunities, and settle for less because their reality reflects their internal beliefs, not their external efforts. This isn't mysticism, it's neuroscience. The brain activates the same neural pathways when vividly imagining an event as when experiencing it firsthand. This is why Olympic athletes use visualization. They mentally rehearse their performance, feeling the wind, hearing the crowd, anticipating the emotions. Their bodies believe they've already done it. Why aren't you applying this to your finances, relationships, and health? What's stopping you from writing down, in vivid detail, who you want to be, from feeling it as if it were already true? Fear of failure. What about the fear of staying stuck in mediocrity? How much of your life has been lost to that fear? Your mental image is the thermostat controlling your life. Regardless of external circumstances, your mind works to maintain the temperature you've set. Time to adjust that setting. Write a new script. What do you want to earn? Where do you want to live? Who do you want to be? Describe it, feel it, live it, and if people laugh, great. That means you've finally broken free from the script of mediocrity. The image you hold of yourself is the first million you need to conquer, and that conquest starts now, by deciding you've already arrived. Most quit before they see results. They plant a seed and dig it up 2 days later to see if it's growing. When they find nothing, they declare the method doesn't work. But it's not the method that's flawed, it's their lack of patience. They want the fruit without waiting for the roots to grow. Persistence isn't about relentless struggle, it's about unwavering faith in your vision, even when everything around you screams otherwise. It's about maintaining that image, even in the face of setbacks. You can study, affirm, even believe for a while. But if you don't hold on to that image during the tough times, you'll revert to square one. Persistence is the key that unlocks your potential. But the secret is simple. Hold the image until the end. It's more real than any obstacle. The game-changing realization for me was that the secret wasn't working toward the goal, but working from it. Instead of striving to reach a distant future, operate from the point of having already achieved your goals. It's about acting as if you already possess the success you desire. I once spoke with a young man desperate for change. He said, "I'm trying, waking up early, studying hard, but nothing seems to move." My question, are you acting like someone who wants to get there or someone who is there? He was silent. He, like many, was stuck in the struggle, not the reality of it. They say they believe, yet live as if they need convincing. They say they crave financial freedom, yet make decisions like they're trapped. They talk about confidence, yet shrink when an opportunity arises. The key is to think from the end result. You don't ask, how do I get there, but how would someone like me behave in this situation? This is living from the end, and true manifestation hinges on it. Neville Goddard called it assumption of the desired state. You assume your desired reality is already internally true, and the external world begins to align. This isn't pretending, it's reprogramming. It's acting, deciding, and feeling as if you've already arrived, even when appearances say otherwise. You're not living by what you see, you're living by what you know. Neuroscience confirms this. The brain doesn't differentiate between a real and vividly imagined experience. Repeated visualization with emotion fires neurons as if it's actually happening. Your body, energy, and frequency shift, altering your results. If you want more money, don't wait until you have it to dress better and walk with confidence. Start now. Do what your prosperous self would do. The result always follows the identity. The universe doesn't deliver what you want. It delivers who you are. I vividly remember envisioning my speaking engagements, the auditoriums, the microphone, even the suit I'd wear. I acted as if it were real, studying like I was already paid for it. This is the difference. Those who create new realities act from the end, not the middle. Those waiting for evidence only accumulate frustration. They're always working to get there, never working from a place of being already there. This shows in small things: tone of voice, decisiveness, presence. Those who think from the end don't panic. They already know they're in the right place. It's like building a house. You don't start stacking bricks without a blueprint. You start with the finished image. If you want real change, stop trying to convince others. Stop explaining why you deserve more. Simply become that new self and live from there. Yes, they'll laugh, call it arrogance or delusion, but later they'll call you a visionary and ask how you did it. Everything began the day you stopped walking toward the goal and started walking from it. There's a law governing the physical and mental universes, the law of least effort. Everything natural and powerful happens fluidly, intelligently, without unnecessary resistance. But humans, in their eagerness to succeed, often choose struggle and force. The result? Exhaustion, frustration, and repetition of their current reality. Do you see trees growing in a hurry or rivers climbing mountains? It's absurd, but that's what most people do daily. They fight against the flow, force situations, beg for validation, working themselves to exhaustion without changing their internal state, assuming the desired state is the shortest path between who you are and who you want to be. It's not forceful belief or repetitive affirmations. It's quietly accepting it as real. You don't need to convince anyone, not even yourself. Just live it effortlessly as if it already were, because it already is. When you assume with conviction, not desperate hope, but calm conviction, you activate a part of your brain that aligns with that new reality. You stop vibrating lack and start vibrating abundance. The universe responds to frequency, not to your rush. When I started deeply studying the law of assumption, my intellect resisted. Be realistic. You need to see to believe. But the truth is the opposite. You need to believe to see. One day I wrote down precisely how I wanted to live, every detail. Then, instead of thinking, one day this will happen, I closed my eyes, breathed, and felt it as true. I assumed. A silent certainty washed over me. Something inside said, it is. It's done. Gradually, things started manifesting, not magically, but precisely. If you're tired and frustrated from chasing a better life, you may be using force where direction is needed. You don't need more struggle, you need more clarity. Ask, if I already had what I want, how would I feel, breathe, move, communicate? Feel it, not mechanically, but as an emotional decision. Assume without anxiety, and then act calmly. The best decisions are often made in peace, without pressure or fear. You don't need to chase anything. You need to align internally with your desires. Unwavering belief, calm faith, makes the universe act with precision. Reach a point where others' opinions no longer matter. I used to change my mind to please others, hide my desires for fear of ridicule. The result? Frustration, and the bitter feeling of living someone else's life. The relentless pursuit of approval traps you, stifles creativity, and transforms you into a mere repeater of patterns imposed by society. How many times have you silenced your aspirations for fear of judgment? How many times have you repressed ideas and ambitions, imagining the criticism, "Who do you think you are to want this?" Breaking free from the gilded cage of societal expectations is a journey many shy away from, clinging to the comfort of a life lived by others' standards. I remember the liberating thrill of a simple, unexplained refusal. Declining a dance at a party, a seemingly insignificant act that unlocked a profound sense of self. That moment, a flash of genuine authenticity, is a power few understand. Living authentically, aligning your actions with your desires, not external pressures, resonates on a different frequency. It's like tuning your soul to its own harmony. The right opportunities arise, kindred spirits gravitate towards you, and your thoughts blossom with newfound clarity. Seeking validation, however, attracts what pleases others, not what fulfills you. Your mind is fertile ground. The strongest seed is authenticity, but it demands courage. Not everyone will applaud your growth. Some will scoff, some will try to drag you back to the comfort of mediocrity. But what then? Time reveals a surprising truth. Those who once laughed will watch, question their own paths, and many, in silent admiration, witness your journey. The audacity of being yourself is magnetic. It inspires, attracts, and unlocks doors hypocrisy would never open. The people you desperately try to please are often too entangled in their own insecurities, too preoccupied with their self-image to genuinely care about yours. So, will you conform to fickle opinions or live your truth, head held high, even if it means standing alone at first? The science is clear. Internal inconsistency, living one way while yearning for another, saying one thing and feeling another, is a wellspring of anguish. It disrupts your energetic field, creating disharmony, and without harmony there's no manifestation. Align your thoughts, feelings, and actions. This alignment happens when you release the need for external validation. Look in the mirror and say, "This is me. This is what I want, and it's okay if no one understands." In that moment, you tap into a self-generated power. Creation springs from the void. You become the source, the truth, unshakable. Are you willing to pay the price for being you? Pleasing everyone means losing yourself, and that's the highest price anyone can pay. Understand this, it's not the money, opportunities, or luck you crave. It's your desire waiting for you to become compatible with it. This isn't philosophy. It's science, energy, universal law. People see destiny as a prize, a future event that magically transforms everything. But the reality is, it's already there, inaccessible to your current self. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. This changes everything. Waiting for things to change before altering your thoughts, feelings, and actions reverses the universe's order. Don't wait for the reflection to change to smile. Smile first, and the mirror will respond. That's how reality works. If you desire more money but act like someone counting pennies, feeling guilty about investing in yourself, conserving energy to avoid seeming ambitious, you emit a frequency of scarcity, and that's what you attract. You might say you want more, but your habits, decisions, and emotions scream the opposite. I recall an entrepreneur who aspired to earn $5 million annually. He had a company, good ideas, structure, but something always held him back. Obstacles, crises, clients backing out. It was a constant cycle. When asked how he felt imagining those $5 million, he fell silent, then said, "I feel like a fraud." Therein lay the problem. The blockage wasn't in the market, it was within him. He didn't see himself as compatible with the outcome he desired. He was trying to force a financial leap without first taking an identity leap. That's what most people do. They desire a greater destiny with the same limited mindset, abundance with the same fears, freedom with an addiction to control, wanting to be heard but afraid to speak the truth. Your next level won't recognize you if you remain the same. Consciously create a new identity, not through force, but through choice. Ask yourself, how does the version of me who has already achieved everything I want live? How does she wake up, dress, speak, position herself, solve problems? Answer with such clarity that there's no doubt who you will become. Don't wait for an external transformation to change internally. Change is internal. The world merely reacts. It's like programming a GPS. The route reveals itself after you set the destination, not a physical place, but a state of being. As long as you behave like someone who wants, you distance yourself from someone who already is. Interestingly, research shows that people who immediately adopt the behaviors of their desired identity, even before achieving results, have 70% more chance of reaching their goals. This isn't luck, it's vibrational compatibility, the science of mind in action. You don't need to transform, you need to remember who you are. That superior, confident, bold version already exists, but it's obscured by years of conditioning, fear, and attachment to the old. Dig, not with effort, but with purpose. Say, enough. From now on, I act as if I've already arrived. Initially, it might feel strange, exaggerated, even uncomfortable. That's the sign you're escaping the gravitational pull of your previous identity. By maintaining this new frequency, the universe responds. Doors open, the right people appear. Impossible results become commonplace. Not because the world changed, but because you became compatible with what has always been yours. Will you continue waiting for destiny, or become the person it recognizes as worthy? Destiny is ready. Only you are missing. Have you noticed how many people try to solve external problems without realizing the root cause is internal? They change jobs, relationships, cities, countries, but live the same cycles. Scarcity, anxiety, frustration persist. They try to fix the broken mirror without seeing the cracked face. The problem isn't outside, it's in the repeated internal pattern. Everything you experience is a direct reflection of your state of consciousness. Until that changes, the scenery might change names, but the content remains the same. Many read books, take courses, attend seminars, and yet don't progress. They haven't shifted their internal vibrational pattern. They've merely replaced information, but operate at the same level of fear, doubt, and self-sabotage. The mind has a dominant point of attraction that determines what it allows or blocks from reality. It doesn't adjust by chance, but when you commit to a new emotional foundation. If you operate from a foundation of anxiety, you'll interpret and react to the world like an anxious person. You might earn more, meet new people, have new ideas, but everything will be filtered through that pattern. Break the cycle, not by changing the world, but what you tolerate feeling daily. Many wake up worried, anticipating what might go wrong. If fear is the first emotion of the day, how can you create something grand from that? Feeling is creation. What you feel consistently, you manifest precisely. The most transformative moments weren't when I did a lot, but when I deeply felt what I wanted to experience. I remember one morning, sitting alone, I asked, what if everything I want were already true now? For a few minutes I let my body believe, my breath slow, feel as if I already had it all. Something shifted, not in the world, but within me. That state rewrote my reality. It might sound mystical, but science confirms heart coherence alters how the brain processes the world. Changing your feeling changes your perception, decisions, and results. You don't need more tools. You need more emotional presence, self-observation, feeling, shifting the center of creation. Initially, it requires consciousness. Later, it becomes natural, like a trained muscle. The new frequency becomes your new normal. For the next 3 days, don't make important decisions in states of fear, anger, or doubt. Wait, breathe, regain your center, then choose. It seems simple, but it has the power to reprogram your field of creation. Reality doesn't respond to what you think, but to the emotion you allow to be the foundation of your life. What will be your emotional base? Anxiety and fear, or peace, clarity and certainty, even if the world hasn't changed? The world changes when you change internally. Your external reality will never be greater than the internal state you sustain daily. By changing your emotional center, you change what you attract, how you respond, and what you build. If this resonated, you're ready to evolve. The next video will expand this awareness and show you how to apply this power. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next video where you'll become at least 1% better. Let's move forward.